xây tương thân tình trong đạo Phật, tùy khác màu nhưng một tôn sư. Hôm nay đây cùng nhau họp mặt, quyết noi theo đường Phật giáo Hoàng Dương.
Edifat. Welcome back to Sunday Songfat. And so we were continuing off a question, and I'll repeat it again. And so, achieving mindfulness or achieving control of your own mind, sorry, what are the kind of benefits that one would see? Because obviously we can't transition and know what happens from the transitional phase from this life into our next form. But what can you kind of see in fruition if we are able to control our mind in the hardest of times or in the times that we're facing the most of danger?
Mm-hmm. In this world right now, if you were to turn on the news, turn on Facebook, turn on any social media, and just read about the news that's going on in the world right now, you can see that there's a lot of negative news that's going on. There's this conflict over in the Middle East. There's wars over in the Middle East. There is hatred that's going on in the United States. There's hatred going on around the world. There's just political division within the United States. There's just a lot of negative news. And having all these negative news, it doesn't help with the fact of helping people maintain a clear mind. But rather, with all this negative news right now, people are living in fear. People are living in fear, knowing that, are they going to be alive tomorrow? Are they going to be alive next year? Or is someone in their family is going to be affected by the crazed killer or ISIS or healthcare issues or all these different things? They are living in fear. That is why there is one quote that I live my life by. I would call it my personal motto, and it's my favorite quote from the Buddha. The Buddha said, "On life's journey, faith is nourishment. Right deeds are a shelter. Wisdom is the light by day. Mindfulness is the light by night. If I live a pure life, nothing can destroy me." Why is this quote so significant in my life? It's because I know that there are a lot of negative things out there. But if I were to take just that quote and live it by heart, I know that nothing can destroy me. And I know that for a fact because everything that I do, I'm implementing the laws of cause and effect, but in a positive way. Right? The laws of cause and effect can either go negative or can go positive.
Yes.
And if we learn how to implement this law in a positive way, then we kind of like deflect all the negative things that come to us. It's kind of like having a shield that whatever negative things come, it gets deflected.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a force field.
Yeah.
Why? So let's break down this quote. Faith is nourishment. Faith here is faith in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha.
Right.
Right? But also having faith in yourself.
Exactly.
Having faith in yourself and having the courage to move forward. Right deeds are a shelter. Learning how to help others. Learning how to inspire others. Learning how to develop others. Learning how to make people happy. Sharing your experience and your wisdom so they can always live a life of abundance, a life of greatness, a life of wealth, a life of happiness.
Right.
Wisdom is the light by day. The Buddha said for monks that only wisdom is the way. That when we practice wisdom, wisdom will help us understand what is going on in life and help us understand to see things the way they are. So then we can always respond accordingly to the wisdom that we have, that we develop. So wisdom is the light by day. Mindfulness is the light by night. No matter how dark it is, when you maintain mindfulness, you see through the dark. You see through the ignorance of things. If I live a pure life by having faith in the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, and also myself,
Yes.
doing the right things, developing wisdom, and maintaining mindfulness, those 4 things, if I live a pure life, nothing can destroy me. And the reason why I want to share this with you is because I know the majority of people right now who are watching this might be living in fear. You're too busy watching the news. You're too busy listening to the radio. You're too busy reading things on Facebook and on Instagram and all these things, and you're feeding in your mind all these negative seeds
Yeah.
of emotion that will only cause you to live in fear. But if you have faith, if you do the right thing, you develop wisdom and you maintain mindfulness, walk through life with courage, and nothing can harm you. Nothing can harm you. And no matter if you're going through a dangerous territory, just have faith. By doing all those 4 things, nothing can harm you.
Right.
But I mean, we're all human. Eventually, we're going to pass away. So you can't escape death.
Yeah.
But don't worry about being stabbed or being killed or being all that. Unless that is one's karma
Yeah.
to experience it.
And not that they deserve it. It's merely a situational as you put yourself there, and that person had to be, violent.
Like Moggallana, right? One of the Buddha's original disciples.
Okay.
Right? He has the power of having the best supernatural powers. Right? He is fully enlightened. Right? An arahat has supernatural powers, able to, have divine eye, divine ear, able to look through his past. But even then, he couldn't escape his karma. He was robbed, beaten, and killed by a band of robbers.
Whoa.
And so even him couldn't be able to escape his karma.
Right. And so let me put this kind of a depressing stuff, but this is kind of the reality that many of us face. I mean, Buddha doesn't control anything. He doesn't control our lives or anything. We are kind of bound to what karma that we kind of bequeath. But sometimes, as we experience death within the family, how do you cope with something where someone passes away, without being old? What if someone passes away at a very young age?
At a very young age.
And you happen to be the grandmother or the mother or the brother or sister of someone that has passed away without being older than 20 or 10 years old. Is there a story or?
There are different ways we can see this. And that question particularly is very difficult to answer is because I am not fully enlightened to answer such a question. However,
But to cope
you can
with
see 2 different ways. You can either see a child who was dying,
Yes.
right? You can either see it 2 ways. You can either see this child has a lot of negative karma, does not have enough karma to live his life fully as an adult, to experience life as an adult.
Yes.
Or you can see it as this child has so much positive karma that they're only paying their debt in this life for a certain amount of years.
I see.
Before they move on to the next life.
I see.
So there's 2 ways that we can see it.
Yeah.
Whether or not you choose to believe in one way, it's up to you. But there's always a different way of looking at it that can help you move forward.
Right.
If you're a mother or a father, you lose a child, I know the pain is unbearable. I've done many funerals where the father and the mother had to bury their son or bury their daughter, or cremate their son or cremate their daughter, and I see the pain, not in their eyes. Yes, I can see the pain in their eyes, but I can hear their pain in their cries. You can hear the suffering. You can hear the heart-wrenching pain.
But it just proves to us the many ways we suffer as human beings.
Yes.
In the Buddhism, because we can have all these joys, but also the reality when it comes down to it is the death of everyone around you.
Yeah.
But to put it in a hopeful sense, as long as you do what Tagmin has said in his quote, if you do right deeds, if you're mindful, if you acquire wisdom, then there shouldn't be any more fear into your life, and there shouldn't be the long stretch of depression and pain coming forth, something that has happened that's a tragic event. Because as we think presently and have hope for the future, I think the Dharma is the best way that we see fit for it to fit it logically in a sense, and also give hope for it. Even though many people may watch and they're rational thinkers and may not believe in rebirth, you know, I mean, it gives you kind of like a safety net. I mean, at least you've been doing good for something, and you will be rewarded if you help benefit others, if you live a life selflessly. And many of the, you know, grandmothers and grandfathers, you know, have large amounts of family members, and you can see that's their merit, that's what they've had in return as they pray. But as we end off today, we're also open on Wednesdays for our nightly English chanting sessions. So if you want to join us in UFAP in Los Angeles,
In San Gabriel.
it's
It's every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m.
Wednesday at 7:30. Please come and join us. Nam Mô Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật.
Xây tương thân tình trong đạo Phật, tùy khác màu nhưng một tôn sư. Hôm nay đây cùng nhau họp mặt,